Welcome back, folks. This is Biz Talks. In case you're just now tuning in, my name is Rick Gutierrez, your business advocate, and we are back with another segment with another expert that is just running over here trying to give us all kinds of nuggets for our business and trying to educate us in everything that has to do with bookkeeping and helping nonprofits. And I want to welcome back my good friend, Miss Nora. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you so much for having me, Iraq. Like it's always been a pleasure being here with you.
Likewise, we like having you on the show. It's an amazing time every time that we get to have these conversations because every time we do, somebody else is learning a little bit more and they're also learning that they need to contact you for your services so that they can get things done right the first time, right?
Yep.
So thank you for being here. So let's dive right in. We want to talk a little bit more about your expertise in the world of helping nonprofits and your extensive experience with nonprofits. How do you, over at Nourasbooks, how do you approach creating a customized financial strategy that not only ensures compliance but also promotes growth and sustainability for these organizations?
So thank you for asking this question because it's very important for every nonprofit to be on top
Sure.
of their financials in order to be in compliance with the IRS and their states and also uh, ensure growth, like you said. A lot of nonprofits think they have to have things for free, and unfortunately, this is not true because if you've been paying close attention to the IRS, I've been contacted with a lot of uh, nonprofits receiving those letters from the IRS with $40,000 penalty, $100,000 penalty, just because they haven't been on top of their finances. So it's very important to be on top of that. At Nourasbooks, we start with the bookkeeping. Bookkeeping is the foundation for everything.
Sure.
And bookkeeping itself starts with actually the charts of accounts. How do we set the foundation for the bookkeeping? What do we want to see in the reporting? Do we want to see this program expenses separate than the other program expenses, which is required actually from the IRS level? They want you to report each program alone, each expenses, each stream of revenue um, for that specific program on their own independently. So we start with that, like construct a good chart of account that is aligned with the reporting of your taxes, which is the 990, because there's like specific lines like we need to report on. When we construct this chart of account to be aligned with the 990, it's so much easier than to report your taxes at the end of the year, and will save you time, will make sure that you have everything accounted for. And then we go further to actually see what type of donations are you receiving. Are you receiving funding from what source? And we can help nonprofits actually make sure get all these stream of income and manage their cash flow, because even though like you are a nonprofit, you are still a business, and if you do not actually manage your nonprofit as a business, you will be failing guaranteed.
Absolutely. And folks, if you haven't heard already, I mean, this is the reason why we have these experts on the shows because they know the stuff, they know their stuff, absolutely. And so we want to make sure that we are working with always with the best and hire the best bookkeeping services out there. So let's talk a little bit about business information technology, Nora. I mean, you've got an enormous amount of background in the industry, but technology is always moving, right? So how are you, keeping up with all of this technology that's changing? Not only are you keeping up with tax laws and things like that, but you're also keeping up with technology. How are you guys doing that?
So now, like technology, as we select a cloud technology, so we don't go with the desktop anymore. I know a lot of people still going with, for example, QuickBook Desktop. Like that is not updated anymore. It's not going to be as fast. It's not updated anyway. But most of the desktop things, they're even if they're updating them, they're not going to be up to date because they, like you said, technology is moving very fast. So we always make sure to select a cloud-based system as something that we know we trust their expertise that they're always updating. It can be overwhelming because like you feel like, oh, I just know, like I know I do this way, but they changed it already. But you kind of have to actually adapt to this very quickly, because if you do not adapt for it, well, you will be behind and you will end up like losing a lot of time and losing business, losing money, just because you're not up to date with technology. So we try to help our client actually keep up with all the technology, make sure, help them manage everything in terms of bookkeeping, donor management system, whatever like systems they are required for their industry. We help them select the best technology as far as what we do, like bookkeeping, CFO services, all of these stuff.
That is fantastic. So, as we know, business information technology is something that's never going to stop. It's not going to be the same over and over. It is always, information that's just going to be updating and, becoming either better or maybe causing a little bit more challenges here and there. But let's talk a little bit more about nonprofit organizations. Maintaining transparency sometimes and accountability, transparency and accountability. Sometimes it's hard to keep accountable and have that transparency. How does Nourasbooks help these organizations build that trust with their donors and their stakeholders through a robust financial reporting and just being upfront, open, honest, and transparent with their donors?
So we always advocate for having a bookkeeping system from the start. So this is how nonprofits should be. We partner with nonprofits with actually being their trusted financial support, trusted coach. We have different programs for different type of nonprofits. I mean, like what level they are. So we have from the beginning a free resources up to actually CFO service, strategic planning, and everything. So free resources for them would be actually the master class we're doing. Actually, we have one upcoming on June 27. That's going to be on Zoom. So that is going to show the nonprofits how they can be a trusted nonprofit. What do they need to increase their funding and to stay in compliance? And then we have a lot of YouTube. Actually, I do a lot of YouTube's educational for them. Then we transfer to actually a group coaching program where we have the nonprofits like in the uh, coaching program for 12 months, where they have direct access to me, where I coach them one on one, not on, in the group coaching call. They can ask any question, they can actually communicate with other nonprofit leaders. And then the second level would be actually, not the second, the next level would be where they actually hire us for their bookkeeping, CFO services, donor management systems, maybe strategic planning if they can afford the service. So it depends on where they are in their nonprofit journey. But the main thing is for the mindset of the leadership. They have to have that mindset. Okay, this is a nonprofit. We have to invest in it. In order to get money, you have to invest money. That is true for nonprofit as well. A lot of people who start a nonprofit, they just want to make an impact. They don't recognize that in order to make an impact, you actually have to invest in your time and money. And this is very important because you want to be in compliance. You want to make sure you are transparent, because you know what? That 990, the tax return for nonprofit, it's a public document. Everyone have access to it. Everyone will see how much did you get? How did you spend it? How organized are you? If you lost your exempt status because you did not file, people will know. Like, it's public. It's on the IRS website, reported under your organization name. Anyone can look your organization up from the IRS website and from other organization website like GuideStar. Everyone can go look you up there. And so it's very important to have that mindset of growth, of actually we want to make sure we um, have a great impact, rather than just like, okay, I have $100 now. I rather spend that $100 on, if let's say you are feeding the homeless, to feed like 10 people, maybe if you can fit that, for 10 people, rather than pay a consultant to help me set a system up where I can then help actually hundreds of thousands of people eventually, rather than just helping like 10 people and never be able to do anymore. And because I can't raise fund, I can't do anything, I'll be stuck. So this mindset should be, it's very important, because no matter how much we try to raise awareness, how to try to educate the leadership, if they're not willing to actually have receive the information with the open mind, you can't change anything. So it's up to the leadership at the end if they want to be successful or not.
Absolutely. I think you hit the nail on the head when you say that it's all about the mindset, right? Because there's a lot of business owners out there that one of the things they don't realize is that they just want to have a business, right? But what they don't realize is that when you go into business, eventually at some point or another, you are going to be in the public eye. And you technically want that, but you're also going to be in the public eye in other terms, as far as especially if you're a nonprofit, you're going to have your financials as being, public information, and they want to see what you're doing and what you're not doing in order to be a great, donor for you and all of those great things. And that is the reason why we need to go with Nourasbooks, making sure that we have everything up to date and everything is transparent. Nora, thank you so much for coming to the show again. It's always a great conversation. We love having you here.
Thank you so much for having me. It's always a pleasure.
Awesome. So thank you so much. We look forward to our next shows. And folks, we're going to take another quick commercial break. Stay right there. We'll be right back.